I remember the time I worked at a convenience store, and it was an experience that still gives me chills to this day. It was a quiet evening, and I was the only employee on shift, tending to the store and assisting customers. Little did I know that this night would bring an encounter that would leave me questioning the boundaries of reality. The convenience store I worked at was a small, family-owned establishment nestled in the heart of a quiet neighborhood. It had a cozy, old-fashioned charm that appealed to locals who preferred a more intimate shopping experience. The shelves were stocked with a variety of goods, ranging from everyday essentials to snacks and beverages. The store had a distinct scent, a mixture of freshly brewed coffee and the aroma of baked goods from the small in-store bakery. It was a place where customers could grab a quick bite, have a friendly chat, or simply find solace in the familiarity of their surroundings. I stumbled upon the job quite serendipitously. I had recently graduated from college and was searching for employment to support myself while I pursued my passion for writing. One day, as I was walking down the street, I noticed a help wanted sign in the window of the convenience store. Intrigued, I decided to seize the opportunity. I walked in and introduced myself to the owner, a warm-hearted gentleman named Mr. Anderson. During the interview, Mr. Anderson sensed my enthusiasm and genuine interest in the store's unique atmosphere. He shared stories about the store's history, his vision of providing personalized service to the community, and his desire to create a welcoming space for everyone who walked through the doors. His passion resonated with me, and I knew deep down that this was more than just a job, it was a chance to be part of something special. Mr. Anderson hired me on the spot, appreciating my eagerness to contribute and my commitment to delivering exceptional customer service. From that day forward, I dedicated myself to the store, taking pride in ensuring that it remained a haven for its patrons. I cherished the opportunity to connect with customers, to hear their stories, and to offer a friendly face in their daily routines. Little did I know that this humble convenience store would soon become the backdrop for an eerie encounter that would test the limits of my perception and leave me questioning the nature of reality itself. As I stood behind the counter, rearranging some snacks, a man walked into the store. He had an unsettling presence about him, dressed in worn-out clothes, and his eyes darting around nervously. His unkempt appearance sent a shiver down my spine, but I reminded myself to treat every customer with respect and not let first impressions cloud my judgment. As the man approached the counter, his unsettling presence became more apparent. His clothes were tattered and stained, as if he had been wandering through dark alleyways for far too long. A disheveled mop of greasy, unkempt hair hung over his forehead, partially obscuring his pale, gaunt face. His eyes, sunken deep into their sockets, darted around the store with a sense of unease. They were devoid of any warmth or familiarity, giving off an unsettling intensity that made me instinctively want to retreat. His lips were cracked and dry, revealing a few decaying teeth as he attempted a smile that failed to reach his eyes. Every movement he made seemed jerky and disjointed, as if his body was governed by some unknown force, further amplifying the sense of unease that emanated from him. It was as if darkness itself had taken human form and stepped foot into the store, and the air around him seemed to grow colder, sending a shiver down my spine. The man approached me with an eerie smile, his voice quivering as he requested to use the restroom. I hesitated for a moment, briefly considering the store's policy of only allowing employees to access the bathroom for security reasons. However, I didn't want to turn away a customer in need, so I reluctantly handed him the key and pointed him towards the restroom at the back of the store. With the key in hand, the man swiftly made his way to the restroom, his movements oddly graceful despite his disheveled appearance. As he closed the door behind him, I couldn't shake off the unease that settled within me. Something about his demeanor felt off, and my instincts were on high alert. As minutes turned into an eternity, an eerie silence hung in the air, broken only by the distant hum of refrigerators and the soft rustling of products on the shelves. It was as if the entire store held its breath, mirroring the anticipation that weighed heavily upon me. Odd sounds began emanating from the closed restroom door, a faint scratching noise, like nails grazing against the walls, followed by a low, guttural murmur that sent shivers down my spine. The hair on the back of my neck stood on end, and an unshakable feeling of dread settled within me, making my heart race. It was an inexplicable mixture of fear and curiosity that kept me rooted in place, torn between unlocking the door and fleeing from the unsettling unknown. Time seemed to stretch and warp, amplifying the sense of unease until it felt like an invisible force pressing against my chest, suffocating me in its grip. Minutes passed, but the man showed no signs of leaving the restroom. I grew increasingly concerned, realizing that it was taking far too long for a simple bathroom break. My curiosity mixed with a tinge of anxiety, compelling me to investigate the situation further. I walked towards the restroom and gently knocked on the door, calling out to the man. Silence was my only response. Growing more apprehensive, I jiggled the locked doorknob, only to find it stubbornly refusing to budge. Panic started to seep in as I pondered what could possibly be happening on the other side of that door. Summoning all my courage, I pushed against the door with force, expecting to find the man standing there, surprised by my sudden intrusion. But as the door swung open, the restroom revealed itself to be empty, devoid of any trace of the mysterious customer. It was as if he had vanished into thin air, leaving behind only a lingering sense of the uncanny. Confusion overwhelmed me as I searched the small restroom, looking for any signs of his presence. There were no windows, no secret exits, nothing that could explain his disappearance. It was as if he had slipped away, swallowed by the shadows of the store. I returned to the counter, my mind racing with questions and uncertainties. Had I imagined the man? Was he some kind of ghost or figment of my imagination? I couldn't make sense of what had just transpired, and the eerie encounter left me on edge for the rest of the night. To this day, the memory of the creepy man who vanished into thin air lingers in my thoughts. It serves as a reminder that sometimes reality can defy our understanding, leaving us to wonder about the mysterious forces that exist just beyond our grasp.